It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning and we're talking success.
Hello, Soul family. Jordan Peterson coming at you live from our Soul Studios here in Pleasant Grove, Utah. So glad you could join me today. It's kind of a big day, it seems like. Everybody's talking about this eclipse that's coming probably in the next couple hours, depending on where you're at. Hope you guys enjoy that. It seems like they're happening more often than not. I don't know. I remember the last one last year or whatever. It was kind of a cool thing. But if you haven't seen it before, go check it out. We're only going to get partial coverage here in Utah, they're saying. So it looks like kind of Midwest is looking to get a lot more of it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's kind of a cool thing, these astronomical things that happen, but good stuff. Today's April 8th. And so you may have noticed you've already gotten paid for your monthly commissions, which is always an exciting thing to see the job well done you guys did in March, which is fun. It was good to see the growth that we had. Looks like we got a good group on with us this morning. It's always good to have you guys on. Good morning to all of you. I hope you guys had a great time. Rachel says she hopes she gets to see the eclipse even though there's clouds there. That is a little bit of a hindrance, right? As always, if you haven't joined us before, make sure you chime in on our YouTube channel. When I look this way, it's because I got a screen here showing all your comments. Chime in so we know that you're out there. We'll get your name into the bucket of fun to see if we can get you some swag, because we like to give out swag. Now you're looking at this, you're kind of jealous. You want to see the fantastic Cinemate thermos that I got here. No, you can't have it. It's mine. This is what I bring every morning to my show. This show's sponsored by Cinemate, so we got you covered. But, my gosh, you guys, we got some good stuff we're giving away today. Kristen is taking care of you. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. We got a mystery box here. Ooh. We've got the crossbody bag. This thing is everywhere. If you're out and about at all, everybody's wearing crossbody bags. They're such a slick deal. And then we've got this fantastic beach blanket with some sunglasses. It's beach season coming right around the corner, guys. And so we got you taken care of. We'll get you covered for sure. So there is all of that. Good stuff. And as always, we like to start off by just recognizing people, bringing new people into the Soul family. The Soul family is only as good as the people that are part of it. And it's always fun to see new people become a part of it and to share their goodness in it. And so with that, we broke it up into two different things you'll see this time. We got a top 5 for trial packs that were sold over the past 2 weeks since we missed last week, since I was out of town. And then we also have enrollments as well. You'll see. Let's jump into it and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to start with trial packs first, our top 5 trial packs for the past week. We have Martina Kennelly coming in. We've got Corinne Lott. We got Valerie Bledsoe, Satinka Brosington, and Chris Hedrick rounding out our top 5 of trial packs. Chris Hedrick has been killing it lately with those things, selling them almost every day. So well done, Chris. And then we also see enrollments, and it's fun because there's usually a little bit of a lag. You sell the trial pack, then a couple weeks later, you see them buy the upgrade or become a member or whatever and get an enrollment, and you're going to see some of that. Here we go. We've got Valerie Bledsoe coming in. We've got Lisa Manchester. We've got David Manuez, Maria Ramirez, and Eduardo Lopez coming in for our enrollments as well. So we're going to start seeing some of these same names from trial packs be a little more common on our enrollments as well as people are trying out the products through this fantastic trial pack and then saying to themselves, you know what? Gosh dang it, I feel better. I want to order some more of that stuff. And next thing you know, they're ordering packages and everything else. Because what we're seeing right now, it's been interesting. I've been curious to see what the average order size would do as we continue to sell more of these trial packs. The average order for the past week was $237.47. The average enrollment, $237.47. That's a great package they're purchasing right there to try tons of products. So that's so good to see. One thing I did want to make you aware of that's kind of fun is moving forward here in the very near future, we just got these printed, so we'll get them into the trial packs. We wanted to include this card right here. It's a supplement fact card for all that we got going on in there. So they can see exactly the ingredients in each of the products. They can see what they have going on in there. Super easy. They can share it with people. They can pull it out and look at it, whatever they want to do. So we're going to be including that in these trial packs. We just got to print it out. So here in the very near future, people are going to be able to see those as well, which is a great thing there. And And it's cool because they try the products, they have great results, and what do? They send in great testimonials just like this one. Here we go. It says, I used to suffer with so many health issues. I made that change with the so many health issues because she actually listed them all out, and for just to keep everybody happy and whatever, we didn't list all those out. So it says, I also suffered with emotional trauma issues, all of which are mostly past tense. In my personal opinion, Soul has helped to give me a life. A full life, one with next to zero symptoms of any of the physical issues, and strength and hope during emotionally and mentally challenging times. I thank God for the founders of this organization and for my naturopathic doctor. Thank you doesn't even begin to cover it. And man, that's what we love to see right there. And those are the testimonials that keep rolling in. So if you're hearing any, if you're experiencing any, make sure you send them in to us. We love to see them. And man, it's just such a great thing to see. And it's fun to see. Now, as I was putting this together, I've been having some interesting conversations with some individuals, some of which are in Soul, some of which are not. But there's sometimes can be a little bit of a feeling of, unless I am super out there and a huge extrovert, I just can't do this. You kind of have to be outside of yourself in order to do something like this. And that's not me, so there's no way I can be successful. So why would I even try? And so today I decided to put together some thoughts on extroverts versus introverts. The thing I find really interesting in life is that everybody has challenges. If you're an introvert, there's some challenges that are going to come along with that. If you're an extrovert, there's challenges that come along with that as well. Today, we're going to focus on the introvert side of it. So my question to you, everybody who's on with me today, is what do you classify yourself as? Are you an extrovert or an introvert? Let me give you some definitions of each, and then you can kind of decide for yourself. Extroverts says are outgoing, overtly expressive, and are energized by being around people. Okay? Versus introverts, they're shy, reticent people who are mostly drained by being around other people. They like their quiet time. So what are you thinking, right? Denise says, that's how I feel. I'm an introvert here, right? Nicole says, I'm an introvert. Maria says she's an introvert as well, right? There's so many, introvert there. Lydia's half and half. Oh, I love that, Lydia. Rachel, sometimes I'm an extrovert and sometimes an introvert. There you go. Kim Fix, an introvert. Extroverted, Satinka says, until she's not. That's great. Rose is an introvert. Terry Sanders says, I'm not shy, but I am an introvert. Awesome. I like that distinction as well, right? We got more extroverts. Got some coming in both. Dolores says she's not either. She's just Granny D. That's right. That's what I love to see, right? Both, right, for Lorianne, right? I think I'm an extrovert that needs my alone time, Christy says. Perfect. No, that's great. It's good to see all you guys trying to figure yourselves out. Well, let's talk a little bit about introverts then, and some things that you may just need to be aware of as an introvert, a self-proclaimed introvert, as you try to lead and to help others, because there's things that go along with it, right? Here's a thing that I find really interesting. Those that say they may struggle with being a leader because they're an introvert is interesting, because the definition of a leader is someone who has followers. And it doesn't have anything to do with charisma, social status. In fact, if you read the book Good to Great and they talk about different levels of leadership, they find that those with the strongest characteristics of leadership aren't the overly charismatic, whatever people that sometimes we think about, right? A leader leads and helps others, right? They have followers. Extroverts and introverts alike can be this, right? But here's some challenges that introverts might have. Number one, self-doubt or intimidation. They question their ability to lead, right? Often because we're comparing ourselves with others and thinking they're doing a much better job and they're so much more charismatic and they're so much easier in front of people, and gosh, they can do it so much better. Why? I can't compare to that. Why would I even try, right? Such a hard thing to do, right? One thing, and these are just suggestions. You can look at them as however you want, take them or leave them. This is just some suggestions. One thing you could look at, and what I like to teach some of the youth and young people in my life that I'm trying to mentor up, is to do hard things in your life. Do hard things. Learn that you can overcome. Do things that push you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And then decorate the walls of your mind with those things. As you do that, when you come up against another hard thing, you can think back on those successes that you've had, on those achievements that are decorating the walls of your mind, and think to yourself, you know what? I was able to do that. I felt uncomfortable. I'm feeling that same uncomfortable feeling right now. I did it last time. It didn't kill me. Good results happened. I think I can do this again. Let's go, right? And you're able to do that. Some people call it exposure therapy. You can kind of call it whatever you want, right? But the reality of it is if you can talk to one person, and then you can talk to a group of 2 people. And if you can talk to a group of 2 people, you can talk to a group of 10 people. And if you can talk to a group of 10 people, surely you can talk to a group of 100 people. I know that's one of the Americans' biggest fears is public speaking. And sometimes we feel like we have to be that. Man, that's not true at all. But you can put yourself in positions to expand your comfort zone just a little bit and put yourself in a position to grow with that, right? Valerie says she's actually an introvert who has learned how to be comfortable in situations that require me to be an extrovert, right? I love that, right? Lydia says we can totally see that, and I see that as well, right? I love it. Terry says, yes, it's stepping out of your comfort zone. That's absolutely true. Some other things that we can do to put ourselves in a good spot as an introvert is have someone you trust give you feedback and let you know what you can do to kind of help yourself to improve, or things maybe that are blind to you that maybe on both ends that you're actually better at than you think you are, and also some things you can improve upon as well. If you look at some of these big companies right now, let's look at Facebook, for example, or Meta, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. If you've ever seen the CEO, president, or whatever he is of Facebook, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, be interviewed or talk in front of a crowd, you can tell it's one of the most uncomfortable things he could ever possibly put himself through. And yet he's still successful in putting himself through that, right? And each time you do it, if you watch, there's been progression through his interviews and stuff. He actually gets a little bit better each time. And he says he credits that to one of his mentors that he reaches out to, a woman that's close to him. And they go over each interview, they look at things he did well, things he could improve upon, and he makes mental notes of that and puts himself in a good position going forward. So there's somebody there. You can have somebody give you feedback. There's also something I find really interesting. There's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's cognitive bias. And basically what it says is people who have low skills overperceive how good they are at doing something. So the skills may be low, but they perceive their ability to be fairly high with that. But as they go, when their skills get higher, they kind of start to underestimate their abilities until they become an expert and they get back again. There's kind of a U-shaped graph with that. And there's a great example of this, for instance. There's a meme that's been going around that talks about a quiz that went out asking which animals you think you could beat in a fight if you were unarmed. And it starts with a rat. Right? How many, send it out. How many of you think you could beat a rat in a fight if you were unarmed? Now, the reality of this is interesting because the reality of it is, I think all of us could, right? I bet you 100% of people, especially adults, could beat a rat in an unarmed fight, right? You kick it, you step on it, you do whatever you want to do. Only 72% thought they could beat a rat in an unarmed fight. Okay? How about a house cat? Slightly lower, 69%. We go down to a medium-sized dog. Less than half of the people thought they could beat a medium-sized dog, 49%. An eagle, which I thought was interesting. Only 30% thought they could beat an eagle in a fight. Now think of what an eagle has, some talons and a beak. It seems like you just thump that thing as it's coming at you in the air. It's not going to chase you down, right? Keep going, large dog. So 49% believe they can't beat up a medium-sized dog. 23% believe they can beat up a large dog. So almost 3/4 of the population doesn't think they could beat up a large dog. Chimpanzee, this is an interesting one. 17% of the population believes they could beat a chimpanzee in a fight. But slightly less than that is a king cobra at 15%. 14% of the population believes they can beat a kangaroo in a fight. Well, 12% believe they could beat a wolf. It's about 1 in 10 believe they could beat up a wolf in a fight, unarmed. 9%, this was an interesting one for me, 9% believe they could beat a crocodile in a fight unarmed. A crocodile. Now, for those of us that came to Costa Rica with us, these things are like 17, 18, 19, 20 feet long. They weigh like 2,000 pounds, but we can beat it in a fight unarmed. You may be able to stay away from it so it doesn't eat you, but I don't think you'd ever beat it. Like, what could you possibly do to that thing? A gorilla. Now, you think of a gorilla, they weigh about 400 pounds, right? 8% of the population believe they could beat up a gorilla unarmed. How about this one too? Tied at 8% is an elephant. 8% of the populations believe they could beat an elephant unarmed, along with a lion at 8% as well. And last but not least, we have the grizzly bear, the fearsome grizzly bear. 6% of the population believe they could beat a grizzly bear that weighs 1,000 pounds, that could swipe off your head with one swipe of its paw, that have razor sharp claws the size of your fingers, that could, with their bite, can crush a bowling ball. But they believe they could beat it up. 6% of the population, right? Interesting, right? So Dunning-Kruger effect, I find it interesting. So those are the people that believe that their abilities are much higher than what skills they actually have. But I find it that introverts almost to the opposite. Their abilities are actually right there with their skills, or their skills are underestimated compared to what they can actually do. And so they always feel like they're not able to give it their all because they're a little bit concerned about what it's going to look like. And then when they do something, everybody sits back and is like, "What? That was awesome. They got to do that more often," right? So I think it's a perception thing. And with that, there's just some misjudgment that goes along with introverts. Oftentimes, because they're quiet, they like to sit back a little bit. People think they can be underestimated, that maybe they don't know something. Maybe they're not willing to step out in front of the crowd. Perhaps they're a little bit nervous. And maybe all those things are true. One thing that I find that can help, though, have you all ever heard of an RBF? Right? They also call it your think face is your stink face, right? You kind of have that look like, as you're looking at people, everybody looks at you like, why are they in such a bad mood? You don't realize it's happening because you're just thinking and just kind of sitting back in the crowd paying attention and just processing. Introverts like to think internally, right? Extroverts like to think out loud and talk as they're going through it. So they look at you and they're like, what they got going on? Here's something that might help with this. If you just simply raise your eyebrows while thinking, it makes you look like you're not so darn angry all the time, right? If we get them down like this, as we're thinking through things, But if we just raise them up a little bit, it makes you look like you're alive, happy a little bit, right? Same thing if you just purse your lips just a little bit, pull them back. If you're pursing them down, angry, right? Just pull them back a little bit. Might get a little bit of dimple going on. Put yourself in a good spot. People might think you're not so darn angry all the time, right? And that's a big thing. And Rachel says, causes wrinkles too. And we would hate that, right? Terry says, I like my RBF. People leave me alone. Yeah, they do, right? They do. Everybody does because they're worried about you. Valerie says it's all in the eyebrows. It helps, I'm telling you. Just raise those eyebrows up a little bit, makes you look alive. So that you'll be able to help yourself out there, right? So there you go. And last but not least, manage your energy. Especially if you realize going into things that you're going to be with a group of people, it's going to drain you, you're going to feel like you're worn out a little bit. Let's manage our energy a little bit. One of which, and this is counterintuitive, you think to yourself, well, if I'm going to manage my energy, I'm going to sleep all day, I'm not going to do anything, and then I'll go into this and I'll have my energy built up. It's not true. Go for a walk, energize, get moving a little bit, get your body up and running, and it'll actually help build that energy. So then when you go into that group, you can keep that energy going, but recognize when you get to your spot where you're kind of burnt out, peel back a little bit. That's totally okay. Recoup a little bit, go for a walk by yourself, retreat back, and then build yourself up again so you can go at it again. You don't always have to go to the after parties and hang out and do all those things, right? Give yourself room to grow and you're going to put yourself in a good spot, right? Tanya says, manage your energy with a soul bomb. Absolutely, right? Rosa says, music gives me energy. There you go. Do a little dance before you go out there. Get yourself up and running before you put yourself in that spot, right? So those are the things that we look at with our introverts. Next week, we're going to talk about challenges of leadership with extroverts as well. Again, whether you're an introvert or extrovert, there's pluses and minuses with each. You can say to yourself, I can't do this because I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to be in front of people. I don't want to put myself out there. But the reality of it is there's just as many challenges with extroverts, and we'll go into that next week as well. The point of it is this: if your desire is to help people and give them the tools to help themselves, you can be successful in anything you want to be successful in. As I mentioned before in the book Good to Great, they talk about that some of the greatest leaders that they've seen are actually more introverted, pull back a little bit, not the charismatic out in front all the time, because they give their team the tools they need to be successful. And that's what leaders are. They have followers. And if you empower your followers to do things that are outside of their normal capabilities and abilities, then now we're in a spot that we can really grow, right? And that's really what we're looking at, right? Debbie says, being around negative energy can suck the life out of you. Absolutely. Satinka gives us a tip. Yes, drink lots of water so you can have an excuse to leave and catch your breath away from the people. There you go. Got to do the potty break. Go talk to yourself in the mirror, boost yourself up again, and off you go, right? I love it. That's what Lydia says. Sometimes nerves will send you to that. Anyway, frequent peeing is because we want to run away. That's awesome. Good stuff, guys. All right, now let's get you out of here. I know the eclipse is coming. It's a Monday anyway. You got lots to do, so let's go ahead and we're going to get you some swag and send you on your way. Crossbody bag. I'm telling you, that thing's popular. Listen, it's almost there. It's time to go to the beach. It's getting warm. Time to get out there. So here we go. We're going to start with our mystery box over here. And the winner of that today is... Oh, we got two stuck together. I'll pull the one that I can't read. Chris Hedrick. Chris Hedrick, there you go. You got yourself a mystery box. Here we go with the next one, the crossbody bag. Who wants that? That's one everybody needs. Chris DeVilliers, Mama K down in Louisiana. You got yourself the crossbody bag. And last but not least, we got the beach towel. And I hope somebody who gets this actually has a beach to go to. If somebody up in Idaho gets this, you're going to have to travel a long way to use that. But let's see what we got. I may have just cursed us. Let's see. And the winner is... Oh, that is funny. McKady Sheehy up in Idaho. You're going to have to go sit by the Snake River, I guess, with this and enjoy it because the ocean is a long way from you, my friend. But, man, I hope you guys had a great time today. Enjoy your week. Keep on pushing. As always, keep sharing soul. We sure love you guys, and I'll see you again soon.